Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, it's Tuesday morning. It ain't God good and won't he do it? Oh, yes, he will. Oh, yes, he will. I know my listeners probably saying, Lee Craft, Lee Craft, Lee Craft. You say the same thing every morning. I'm going to say Enoch, Ewok, Enoch. That means y'all sure know what to say. Look, it's Tuesday morning, right? And I woke up this morning and I was saying, you know what? I got a good topic. What's wrong with telling the truth? What's wrong with telling the truth? People seem like it's so hard to tell the truth. They tell a lie when the truth will do. But before we get started, if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com or go to Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, all those beautiful apps. Look for the animated black man with the white beard smiling in their profile and then finally, y'all trying to size me up. I thought long and heavy this morning about this topic, and it's kind of. I'm gonna tell you some. I'm gonna give you some scenarios. You tell me what you think, what you would do. What if you was in this situation? How would you deal with it? Especially when you know the truth. Okay, my partner. I got a partner, right? My partner was telling me, man, he's crap, man. So how's everything going, man? I ain't seen him in a while. How's everything going? He said, crap, man, everything going good, man. Family's well, man, and my kids, man, they doing well, blah, blah, blah. I said, man, that's great, man. It's great, man. But then you just I told him, but then you just tell me the other day, you had to put one of your kids out because they wasn't working. They were just laying around doing nothing. Oh, I told you that crap. Yeah, you told me that. I said, look at man. I said, it's just me and you talking, right? But like I said, people, why tell a lie when the truth would do, right? I was talking to this partner of mine, right? I said, crap, man, man, I changed my life around, man, man. I stopped drinking, man. I stopped gambling. I stopped doing a lot of things, smoking, crap. I try to get my life to try to get closer to God. I said, really? I said, I was talking to one of our boys the other day, man. They said, y'all hanging out drinking and smoking. He told you that? Yeah. He shouldn't have told you that crap. Look, man, I'm not trying to pass judgment on nobody, man. But you ain't got to lie to me when the truth would do. That's all I'm saying, What's wrong with the truth, right? I was talking to a lady. Sometimes you're in the store and, you see people sometimes, and, people want to strike up conversations, right? So we started talking about the troops coming to Memphis and how she felt about Donald Trump being a president and everybody lying on Donald Trump. I said, really? I said, how do you know they're lying on Donald Trump? Well, Lee, man, it's fake news. I said, who said it's fake news? I said, the only person I know said fake news was Donald Trump said fake news. He tried to control the narrative. I said, see, this is the thing, good people. I said, the news media, they want to sell some products. They want to sell some drama to get people to view into the station and stuff. And said, wow, man, I know all what's going on. But fake news is when you deliberately tell a lie. If you tell the same lie over and over and over and over again, you start to believe the lie like it's the truth. And we all know that it's a lie. So what is fake news? I asked the lady, what is fake news? Fake news is something that you don't believe is true. That's fake news. Now, what if you saw this man doing, well, you heard about what he's doing, right? And you saw him do something that's wrong, right? Is that still fake news you saw with your own eyes? What are you talking about? That's fake news. That could be a clone. That could be AI. See, that's what, look, people. That's the problem that I have right now. That's why the world is the way that it is, because everybody coming with their own stories and stuff, right? Because the truth will do, but it's not enough. You have to destroy the narrative and everything. Y'all probably say, Lee Craft, what are you talking about, Lee Craft? I'm talking about what's wrong with the truth. You get up every morning, you go to work, you bust your tail for your family. Then somebody get at a red light, they want to rob you for what you got. Then if you self-defense, harm somebody, now you got to go through the court system to prove your innocence for self-defense. Now, That'd be more truthful, right? Now, if you're a black man, you got a double jeopardy. You got a double-edged sword, right? Because you really got to prove the truth. You can have it on camera. I don't know about that with you or not. But all I'm saying to you is this, people. Look, this world will get no better if we keep doing what we're doing. You know, there shouldn't be no, like I always said, shouldn't be no black and white wars. Should be none of those things. There shouldn't be no racial division. But you get some people that just hate certain races just because it been programmed inside of them for so long. So it's hard to break that unless somebody help you break that. But before I go a little further, no matter what you're going through, I can guarantee you one thing. It's going to be okay. As long as you make God a part of your life. I can guarantee you that. That's a what-if guarantee. Now, but what if? What if I tell you another story? I worked with this guy years ago, I said back in the 90s, right? I think his grandfather or his father was a grand wizard of the KKK. He thought that all black people were bottom feeders, was nothing. He said, Lee, I saw the TV medium, I saw my grandparents told me, and until I work with you guys, man, my father and grandfather lied to me. You guys are nowhere like that. I said, look, man. I said, I'm glad you told me that, but I said, look, man, we treat nobody different, man. We treat people like we treat people better than people treat us. I said, the thing is that this right here, man, you only was doing what you was taught. That's it. He said, Lee, man, you're right, man. I said, you do better. Well, you should do better when you learn better. That man apologized to me for what it felt for. Man, you don't no apology, man. I'm just glad you changed. And we just sit there and just laughed about it. See, the truth is, the world can get better. But a lot of people believe that negativity sells. If you keep us divided, you can profit. Why can't we profit together? So people, what if I told you that the truth means something? What if I told you if you leave this world today, you got to answer for all those things that you've done, all those lies that you told. And one thing the Bible says, God hates a liar. The Bible says he dislikes a lie. It said God hates a liar. A liar is one of the worst things that could possibly be. When you got preachers telling lies just for money. It'll be okay. Just a little white lie. A lie's a lie. Just like when people say when you voted in the election, I'm voting for the lesser of the two evils. But they forgot one thing. Evil is evil. Evil is evil. You know what I'm saying? All they showing you a little bit of what they're going to do, but they're showing you less right now. When they get in, they're going to show you more. So evil is evil. So, like I said, if I might have made a mistake this morning by picking this topic, please forgive me. But like I said, though, the truth is, it is what it is, What's wrong with telling the truth? The truth can do two things. The truth can set you free, and truth can incarcerate you, depending on where you're at. As I said, truth can make you better, and hopefully make you a little bit better. People say, Lee Craft, man, why should you tell somebody the truth all the time? Why shouldn't you tell somebody the truth? Because you keep on lying to them, you got to keep on lying to them, you got to keep on lying to them. You know nobody lie to you, right? Lee Craft, I asked somebody, hey, man, do you like what I got on? Yeah, Craft, you sharp, man. Just like watching, I'm going to get you a sucker, right? You go around the corner, everybody talk about what you got on, man. That man went stuff 1915. One man walking around the aquarium. See, those lies don't hurt right now, but it hurt as you go further and further down the road. I know y'all probably said, Lee Craft, that made no sense. It do make sense. We let it marinate for a minute. Just let it marinate, My job is to try to open your eyes so you see things better, My job is to give you my truth. And you say, you know what? Lee Craft is telling the truth, You probably said, Lee Craft, have you lied before? Shoot, have I lied before? I got a mouth, don't I? But one thing I've learned, we're going to Bible study with Pastor Perm. He said, Craft, God looks at your motive. If you tell a little fib to get somebody over the little hump that they're going through, that's what it's all about. Like my partner one day said, Craft, man, I'm having a problem with my wife, man. Think I'm gonna be okay? You think I'll be fine, man. Just keep on doing what you gotta do, man. Think I'll be fine. But it's a rough time, but he need to hear that it's gonna be fine. Maybe not a relationship, but maybe just telling him it's gonna be fine. That got him over that little hump. Cause you never know what my mindset is set on. That's all I'm saying, people. That's all I'm saying. But what if you just start telling the truth? What if you just start doing the right thing? What if you said, Lee Craft, you're a bad man, Lee Craft. You need to run for president of the United States, Lee Craft. You know what I'm telling you? What if I do? Will you vote for me? Will you vote for a good man to be in the White House that has no knowledge of how to run a whole country, but will try to make sure that everything's fair? We try to make sure the citizens who are retired at 68 years old, they have to worry about no health care, or no food. All they gotta do is just pay their little house note and pay their water bill. No tax and none of that stuff, because you paid your dues on that. How did it feel? What if I told you that I'll make the rich pay their part? People say that when the rich paying their part, they crap, they don't want to produce jobs. No, they don't. They produce jobs, but they need to pay their fair share. Warren Buffett said it best. I pay less in taxes than my secretary. That's a billionaire. Now, do that make sense to you? Make it make sense to me. Or should I tell the government what the young folks say now? Say less, and do more. So, like I said, good people, hope y'all enjoyed my show today. What's wrong with telling the truth? So that was on my heart this morning. Hope you felt where I'm coming from and stuff, and you can add a little bit to it, or you can take something from it. But however you want to do, the truth is what it is. You can't change the truth. You can't change the truth. You may take something from it and add to it, but the truth is what it is. Everybody know the truth. Everybody know that Lee Craft is a work in progress. Everybody know Lee Craft. He don't do things intentionally to harm somebody. And if he does do something like that, and he find out, he's not afraid to apologize. Hey, I apologize for what I did. How can we fix this? That's a man. It's a man. Put your pride to the side and tell God, thank you for giving me the courage to be me. So, with that being said, this is Lee Craft. This is my podcast. If you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com. One band, one sound. Together, we got an opportunity to turn this whole world around. But in order to have a real conversation, you got to have real people. If you want to have a real conversation, have a blessed day. And please find time to make time to tell God.